Okay, so here I am on a Windows XP Professional computer, and what we're going to do is do exactly the same, but this time with Windows XP. So let's start. Oh, let's first of all check that we're connected. I'll go run. It's already there, CMD, to go to the command prompt, and I'm going to ping server, and we get a reply from the server. So we know that we're connected through to the server, so there's no problems there. Let me just exit. Okay, so do exactly the same with Windows 2000 Professional. Okay, so we go Start, and we right click on my computer and go to Properties. And here we have Properties. The second tab, Computer Name. This is where we see the computer name, and this WinXP is what it's called. We named it when we were installing the operating system. And it again belongs to a work group just called Workgroup. So what we want to do is we want to change it, we want to add it to a domain. So to rename this computer or join a domain, click Change. That's what we're going to do. And we want to be a member of a domain, so we click Domain, and we add the domain name, which we set up on the first video. Okay, LRC was the name of our domain. And we click OK. And what it does here is it looks for an account with permissions to join the domain. Okay, so I've added a administrator account with a username, and it's now checking with that domain controller to make sure that we can join a domain. Now this is a security measure. It stops anybody from getting the laptop computer, plugging it into the network and just joining the domain and then having access to that domain, to that network. You need to have a user account on the domain controller, an administrative user account as well, to allow you to do this. Okay, and it's popped up. Computer name changes. Welcome to the LRC domain. Click on OK, and it says you must restart this computer for the changes to take effect. So that's what I have to do, is I have to click on OK, and it will restart the computer. Okay, so we've restarted the computer, we've logged in, and the difference being we logged in with the administrator account that's from the domain controller, and you can see it's actually given us a different desktop this time, the one that's actually the default setting on the domain controller. Okay, so everything's done. I guess we can quickly check. If we hit Start, and right click my computer, go to Properties, go to computer name, we can see that the full computer name is now winxp.lrc.local on the domain lrc.local. Where you can cancel that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, because it's successful, is we'll go and have a look at Windows Vista and see what happens on Windows Vista. So we'll quickly zap over to that machine, and I'll see you there. Here we are on Windows Vista. We've logged in, and just clicking on that window icon on the bottom, you can see that we're actually logged in as the admin. We want to go to Control Panel, and now there's control panels popped up. We want to go to the very first one, Systems and Maintenance, and we'll click on that, which takes us to the Systems and Maintenance panel. Now the third one down says System. It's got a number of options there. We want to see the bottom option, which says see the name of this computer. We'll click on that, and it takes us to the system settings. Now this tells us about the computer, the memory, the processor, and also the computer name and the work group. I'm going to click on Change Settings, which is down there in the bottom right hand corner, and you can see that we get the system properties popping up. Now I've highlighted the computer name, it's called WinVista, and underneath the work group. Okay, and the work group is called Workgroup. Now what we want to do is we want to change these. So the bottom option is to rename this computer or change the domain, which is what we want to do, just like the other two operating systems. So I'll click on Change, and here you have exactly the same box, very similar to the last two. It's a member of either a domain or a work group. So I'm going to change it from the original work group to a domain and type in LRC, which is the name of our domain, and click OK. Now what it's asking for is a a user account and a password for the account that has permissions to allow us to join the domain, okay, which is an account on the actual domain controller. So I'll type in the administrator's account and the password and click OK. And there we go. It's joined the domain. It says welcome to the LRC domain. So everything's successful. I can click on OK. And what it says is you must restart your computer to apply these changes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click OK, and it will restart the computer. Okay, now the computer's restarted and it's booted up, and we're straight back into the control panel, viewing the systems where we actually changed the settings. Now we don't need to change them now. I just want to draw your attention to the bottom corner here, where we've got the computer name still the same, but now we're a member of the domain LRC local. Okay, and that's it for Windows Vista. We are now part of the LRC domain. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to jump off this computer and we're going to go back to the domain controller. Okay, so now we're back on the domain controller, the Windows 2003 server that we set up last time, and we're here just to check that the client computers that we installed are really on this network. We installed them to this network, so we're going to have a quick look. If we go to Start, if we go to Administrative Tools, and then we go up to Active Directory Users and Computers. Click on that, and here we can see the folders that have the users, the domain controllers, and the computers and built-in accounts. Okay, domain controllers, there's just us, the LRC server 1, which is the one that we're on now. We've got the users, these are built-in users that are already there, including the administrator. And now let's have a look at the computer folder. Okay, the computer folder, you can see it actually says computers, 3 objects, and here they are. One is a called Win 2000, one is called Win Vista, and one's called Win XP. So these are the clients that we've actually installed just now. Let's have a look at the properties of the first one. If I right click on it and go to properties, you can see that it tells me about this computer. If I click on operating system, it even tells me what type of operating system it actually is, what service pack it's running. Let's have a look at the next one, Vista, just to see it's different. Okay, it's got its name, operating system, Windows Vista Business. Cancel, and the same for XP. So this is where the more clients we have, we'll have a list of computers that are members of our network. Now the last thing we're going to look at today, and it'll be a quick thing, is looking at users. Now we've got our clients connected to our domain controller. We're going to just see how easy it is to add a user, so that user can log on to any one of those 3 clients. So I've clicked on the users folder. I'm going up to action. I'm going to hit new, down to user. Okay, and here it says new object user. And I'm going to make a fictional person. I'm going to make John Smith, and my login name is going to be J Smith. Click next. Now this is the password. By default, Windows 2003 has quite a secure password policy. It has to have capitals, it has to have numbers, and there's a minimum length. I can't remember quite what it is, but that should do. And here is where we can actually change the settings for his password. By default it's on user must change password at next login. There can be user cannot change password, password never expires, or you can actually disable the account. Now I'm going to click next, and this just gives us a summary of what we're doing. I'm going to click finish, and there he is. John Smith is a user, and now you can see that just by the single head there that he's a user, not a group. Groups are actually depicted by 2 heads. Now John Smith, he'll be able to log in at any of those 3 clients that we've already installed. Okay, so he can use any of those 3 computers and access services on our domain controller. Okay, that's enough for this video. Next time we'll look a little bit more in depth about account management and securing your server.